Hello, and welcome back to Laura's Plans. So, it is Vlogmas day 4 for me, which should be day 5, but it's day 4. But I am going to publish 2 today so that I catch up. Doesn't make sense, I know. Anyway, I apologize. I needed a sip of coffee. So, the first thing that we're going to do today is talk about my intentional mindset that I try to set for myself every day, as well as going through my weekly review process. And what I do there is I generally will flip through the week, see how I did both in the tasks that I set for myself, as well as in my habits and my goal tracking. So that's what we're going to do. So let's go ahead and get started. So the first thing I wanted to do was take you through, let me get to the page, my intention setting. And the truth of the matter is this is a very reflective process in which I truly look inward, look at what's on my mind, what I have been experiencing, looking at that and making conscious decisions about what I want the rest of my day to look like. My morning page routine, my journaling routine, that conscious awareness practice that I take helps me develop these intentions. And so I thought I would be very honest with you in that over the last few days, I've really noticed that I have kind of wavered or had some variances that I'm not very comfortable with. My personal path and my professional path are both very much in a state of transition. And because of that, I've had some pretty strong emotional elements happen over this last week, and I've had to kind of do a reset. And so my intentions for today and moving into Sunday is kind of when I close out the end of the week and really start thinking about the week to come. And so I wanted to go ahead and show you exactly what I do. With my morning pages, I go through and I write stream of consciousness. I'm not going to share those because a lot of personal details in there you don't need to know. But I kind of go through and think about themes that kind of keep coming back up into my consciousness. And that's what I use to set my intentions. So one of the things that I really wanted to make sure that I did today with you guys, as well as an overarching theme for the upcoming week, is that I really wanted to focus myself. And of course, I left my pen out for a little too long, and I don't want to prime it with you guys right here. So I guess I could use this one. Never mind. Let me grab it really quick. I want to focus. Wow, I'm having some serious problems with my fountain pens. So looks like I am using this one. My first intention is to focus on my specific intentions and goals and take meaningful action. So I'm going to include that here. So through my reflective process, I was able to come up with three major intentions that are specific to today, but also overarching intentions that are going to shape my week coming. The first thing I want to do is focus my specific intentions and goals in order to manifest actions. I'm going to be committed to the actualization of the vision I have for myself, and I'm going to be an active participant in my life story. These are overarching intentions that I understand the why. Why are these important based off of my own conscious awareness and reflective practices. So these are my intentions for today. And now we're going to go ahead and do my weekly review process. So the first thing that I do in my weekly review is I will come to my original task list for the month that we're in, and I will update anything that I need to take care of. Like this needs to come into this next week we're moving into. I've already done that and I've already done that. But I need to update some things here. Okay, and then I'm coming over to my personal side. This is something we have to do this week, so I'm going to migrate it. I've gotten those in. Gotten that. And we have finished the front yard project for right now. So I can go ahead and leave those there. I have more that I'm sure I will add in as the month goes on, but I have two major elements that I do need to migrate forward into this next week. And then I'm going to come and take a look. Actually, I'm going to take a look next at my habits. So this is kind of a different setup. I'm not really sure if you guys can see this, but I was able to really do my skincare routine. That was taken care of. But you see this big hole here? My movement has really, really hit an all-time low here. I didn't do any walks, any yoga, any exercise. I did dance around my kitchen yesterday, but that doesn't really count. I am staying above my step goal, which means I am moving during the day. I'm not sitting the whole time, but I don't have any additional exercise. And so that's one of the things that I think I really need to focus on, as well as my journaling. I did journal this morning. I did journal yesterday morning, but you know, I do need to look at my journaling practice. My intimacy and engagement with my husband is doing really well. My spending, I did include Christmas spending here, but as far as like journal spending, I've done pretty well this week. I haven't spent anything on journals or notebooks or anything else. And I am doing well. Let me see here. I did take my estrogen this morning. I did do my fiber supplement. So we're good there. So movement and journaling are two that I really need to look at. My step is doing well. I'm not sleeping as well as I should. I like to be in this 7 to 8 hour range, and I had several days that were barely 6. And so I need to take a look at that and see if I need to maybe change some things in my evening routine so that I wind down a little bit better. Then I will come in here and take a look at any open tasks that I might have. I finished my laundry for the week, so that I can mark off. Did everything there. I'm in the process of this. Took care of that. We did the meal planning. I did take my grocery run this morning, so I want to mark that off. I am going to put on here that I want to walk the dogs It's we take 2 trips at 1.5 miles each trip. Because with 4 dogs, it's easier just to take them 2 at a time. That way they don't get so squirrely. And I had set up Christmas. I don't know that that's going to happen, so I'm going to leave it. We might pull some stuff out, and I may pull down fall. Let me put that on there. I'm going to put away my fall decor at least. And then I hate to say this, but I am going to update my work planner. And if you hear snoring, it's my dog, one of my dogs. She's in the office with me. My work planner is on the iPad, and I will be sharing that with you this week. So I'm going to update my work planner, put away my fall decor, take the dogs for a walk, and then tonight is Krampusnacht. And so we are going to have Rahmschnitzel tonight. So, I need to do the meal prep for that. I need to cook off some thick bacon and get some other things done, like prep the potatoes and stuff, so that we can celebrate Krampusnacht. So, get that done. We're looking good there. So, I have an idea. Obviously, I would spend a little more time if I was doing this on my own, but I have an idea of how things went this week. And so now I can turn the page and go into my weekly reflection. Now, on a weekly basis, because I do daily reflections of a sort, they're not titled daily reflections, but my morning pages are a highly reflective conscious awareness practice that I utilize. And so on the weekly reflection, I honestly ask myself 2 basic questions. The first question is, what were the wins for this week? And the second question is, what were the challenges that I experienced this week? And I will take time to go ahead and fill that in. So I'll speed it up so that you guys don't have to sit here, but I will fill it in. And I do it just kind of in a rapid bullet journal form rather than longhand. All right, so those are the wins for the week, and I have a few more that I may put in, so I always leave extra space just in case. But now I'm going to go and talk about the challenges, and I have to force myself to really put in those wins right away. I do have a tendency to focus on challenges more than I do wins, but I am going to try to be more cognizant of starting with the positive instead of the negative, since one of my personal health and wellness goals is to cultivate an attitude of positivity rather than negativity, because I tend to go negative. So let's go ahead and get started on the challenges. All right. So, as you can see, there were times where I was writing something that challenged me, that made me think about something that came out that I consider a win or was a positive result from this week. And so I will go through and add those in as they come to mind. So even as I go through the process, I can come back and keep adding to these. These are not stagnant pages. They're really works in progress. But based off of what I put here as things that I felt I was doing really well with or that were wins for me, I will take some of these challenge areas that I had and I will refer back to my December goals and really think about what it is I said I wanted to accomplish in the month of December. And that's why having this goal sheet is so important. And I have no idea why I have two tabs on here, but I think one of my little page flag tabs went somewhere else. Oh, this was a real challenge. This food log in here it's not working really well. And to be honest with you, you can see that my gratitude is not working well here either. And so I'm gonna make a pivot, I think. And let me put it on there. Gratitude. And my food log. So I think I'm going to make a pivot this week, and it's going to pivot between this planner and my iPad, because anyway, we'll discuss that in a later video. So let's go ahead and think about the different life goals that I have. So one of mine is health and wellness. And I am going to separate these out because health, I really think health for me takes on a definition that is more physical in nature. Mental health and spiritual health, I think more as wellness. And so I'm going to split those up, and I may be splitting those up coming into 2022. And this is mind and spirit. So here, this is body. And this is wellness in mind and spirit. So health and wellness kind of takes on a different connotation for me. The other area that I was looking at is my relationships. Financially, I need to do a check-in. And I spelled financial wrong. Oh, well. And then the last one is home. So let's, I also want to put down here for personal, it's personal/work, which is YouTube. So those are the things that I'm kind of thinking about right now. For my physical health, I really need to focus on what I'm putting in my body. It has been really hard the last couple of weeks. I have to tell you, I've really struggled. And food is fuel and food is medicine. And I have really just taken like 10 steps back, and I'm not real happy with that. The other thing I know about myself is exercise really does affect my outlook on life and affects my moods. And so I need to get back into really forcing myself to exercise. And we're going to get to the action steps for these here in just a second. but I want to focus on my whys. Why are these important? So with mind and spirit, I need to consciously direct myself to positivity. I need to rekindle I was putting there that I need to rekindle my morning spiritual practice. I've been off and on all this week, and I know that that is a direct result of some of the emotional things that I was going through. It's really hard. I lost my mentor this week, not in that he's passed away or that he's gone forever. In that through the merger, my mentor was one of those people that they decided would not be coming along with us. And that was a big blow for all of us. And so I know that that has had a negative impact on me. And so I really want to focus on how I want to continue the legacy of what we built together, what he built and what we built together, and how am I going to rekindle that and keep that going. With my relationships, I need to be aware of falling back into old patterns. And boy, I'll tell you what, self-worth or how you see yourself, your perceptions of self can really play havoc with you. And it's just one of those things. Okay, so financially, I need to do a budget check-in. And that's an action step as well as just an intention. So I need to do a budget check-in. I also need to, I'm going to come back to that one. Home. All right. So once I've gone through and kind of figured out what was going on, why do I need to redirect things, I'll come in and put that in underneath my different goal areas. And I'm going to go ahead and use a red pen to kind of make those stand out for me. I know. It's really not about decoration. It's really about making my eye drawn to those. So what am I going to do for my physical body? Okay, I'm going to come down here because that's what popped in my head first. I am actually going to schedule 4 workouts or walks into my week on purpose. Also, I think I am going to adapt how I am tracking my food intake and my symptoms. Because what I am doing is just not working for me right now. And I know it's because I kind of had to blend it so that it's both my husband and I, but I think I need to keep those, like, I need to keep my husband separate from mine because there's very different needs there. So my action steps are pivots. Like, this is a pivot. This is an action step. My wellness, my mind, body, and spirit, consciously direct positive thoughts. So I need to pivot and I need to set up a different way to capture my positive thoughts and gratitude. Because I'm just not flipping back to that page. Up here, I actually think I also want to do a weekly habit tracker, but have it be a little more focused. So that's a pivot that we may build into my weekly. Rekindling my spiritual practices. I need to redesign my morning routine because work and life has intruded in that time that I had set aside for myself. So I think I need to shift those time frames around. And I want to map it out so that I can refer back to it each day and remind myself what I need to be doing so that I get my time to do all the things that I like to do during that morning routine. Here, I'm going to leave my relationship and intimacy things kind of for myself personally. There's some pivots that I need to make on how I behave and some of the ways I respond to things. So I can just put that in there and then fill it in more. Pivot on responses. And this is an action item that be creative. I need to be more creative and create meaningful interactions instead of just, sitting on the couch watching TV. Yes, those are times where we engage with each other and we enjoy it and we snuggle. But I also want to create some interactions that are a little more meaningful, where I'm not on my iPad and he's not on his computer and the TV's blaring. So I included those. Financially, I want to do a budget check-in. I also want to create a journal / hobby spreadsheet. So I am going to create a tracker, a digitized version of a journal / hobby, like a long-term tracker for the whole year that I can break down and look at a monthly view. So I can aggregate the data, right? So that I can break it down and see, like, am I spending it on notebooks, on pens, on decorative items, on covers, and see how much I spent in each one of those categories on a monthly basis and a yearly basis. And I know that seems like overkill, but you know, the number of notebooks I have really, when I said it didn't do my mindset very well, I was being honest. And I want this by categories, not just, oh, I only spent, you know, I only spent $50 on that. Well, yeah, but you spent $50 on 5 notebooks you didn't need. So, I also want to create an inventory. So I am going to go through and inventory what I have, put it on paper so that I know, no, I don't need any more month scripts. I have plenty of them, and so on and so forth. So I'm hoping that that will help me in the long run. So these two are kind of tied together. And I think what I'll do is create a whole Excel workbook for that, because that is how my brain works. Create a system of accountability is what I am doing here. And I'm doing this because I don't want to feel like that ever again. And I think that as long as I bury my head in the sand and don't really own up to what I have, where I have it, how much I've spent on things, I will keep down that same path. And so I want to adjust that. I also want to take a look at some of the projects that we have slated for the house. And that is going to be a talk with Jeff, because we just finished our front yard project. So I want to know where we want to go from here. But that's something that we need to do together. But this, my oasis has always been my office and my bedroom. And both of them are starting to feel different. I need my oasis not to be my office. I need to establish a place outside of my office that is my little happy zone. Also, so that I'm not always just hiding up here. And I have this front room. You guys have probably seen it, like, as I've been walking around the house, that never gets used. And I'm thinking that I can create a space there, like in the front dormer windows, that is my crafting place, so to speak, like where I can take supplies to and do things while looking outside, while being around. So, I'm going to just mark that down because that's my idea. And I have to talk to my husband about it. All right, so we have that one done. And then on YouTube, I am going to stop worrying about numbers. And I'm also going to share with you guys what I do on my iPad and how I use that to augment here. And I'm also going to share with you kind of some of my other creative pursuits. So once I have established what I want my focal points to be and the intentions behind them, and I've written down basic pivots and action steps that I want to take throughout the week, I'm then free to turn the next page and begin planning my week. The next video that I post will go ahead and be the weekly setup of the second week of December. And we will be going through and getting everything set up, the decor, and you guys will actually be able to see how I pull from this list of actions and pivots, as well as just the normal elements that I need to plan in a week into this bullet journal system. So I hope this made sense. I hope it was helpful. And as always, if you have any questions, if you have any comments, please leave those down below. I will be sure to get back to them. And I hope you guys have a great rest of the day, and I will see you tomorrow.